All right, so the 2023 Fall World Cup season is over, and it's time to get back doing some podcasts. So I finally have a German skater as my guest, and this guy is enjoying a breakout season in kind of an interesting way. So we're going to talk all about his new romance with the 1500, all the way from Erfurt, Germany. Here is Hendrik Dombek.
Hi, nice to be on the show.
Yeah, guten Abend. It's late
Guten
there.
Abend. Yeah, it's pretty late, but it's okay with the time difference. I think we managed pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing good. So you were off watching a hockey game, and then you told me you were going to be exactly 5 minutes late because the tram wasn't on time. So that just puts to shame the rumors that the German trains are always on time.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. The German trains are always late.
So right now you're sitting in Erfurt, Germany, which is a location where one of the three indoor ovals is in Germany. And I'm assuming because you're a German national team member, that's the home base for the German team.
Yeah, more or less. In Germany, like we had a big switch, I think 3 or 4 years ago, when our new sports director came to work here, and she introduced like a new system where we have like two big home bases. We have Erfurt with Peter Müller as the head coach, and we have Berlin with Alexis Contant as the head coach, and both destinations have like their own speciality. Like in Berlin, there are more women. They're doing the women's team there, and also some long track guys and some sprinters. And here in Erfurt, we are more the middle distance team. We also have some sprinters and some long track guys, because like for Peter, it's very important to have a mix in the team. Yeah, and then in Incel, there are mostly juniors. And yeah, that's the new system. And I've moved to Erfurt 2016, so I stayed here for good reasons.
Gotcha. Oh, that's an interesting explanation. We'll dive more into that later, but what I like to do quite often with, I guess, with just about every guest is I think it's always interesting to hear the stories about how somebody found the sport. I was doing a little bit of research and saw that you got introduced to it when you were around maybe 12 years old and living in Munich. And Munich is not a place that has an indoor oval. So tell us a little bit about your early days finding the sport, and then your time training outdoors.
Yeah, I started in Munich. I think when I was 8 or 9, I started with figure skating at the outdoor track already, but I wasn't very good. So one day the speed skating trainer came from the outer ring and came to the inside and asked us, "Does somebody wants to try like the long track?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really want to try it," because I was really wanky on the figure skating blades, and I did not have much fun. So I was able to try it, and it immediately had something else for me. So I went to the outdoor ring, to the big one with some friends, and we started training there. Like at first 2 times a week, then 3 times a week, and when I was 13 or 14, my dad went to the in Germany it's called Landestrainer, so it's like the trainer of Bavaria, and told her that I want to train more and that I'm really eager to get better and stuff. So she took me in her group, and I was able to skate for a long time with her on the outdoor ring, and I trained like every day from that day on, more or less, and also in the mornings before school. So we went together on the ice at 7 o'clock in the morning till 8:15, and then I went to school, and then I came back in the evening and did another session with her. So in the end, when I was like I think 16, there were no other skaters anymore in Erfurt, only like really small guys and more or less me. So she was more or less my mentor, I would say. I hope that's it's a good word in English.
Yeah.
So she told me everything I know about skating, and really made the skater out of me I am also right now with Peter also. But yeah, she's my most influential person. The ISU always asks for the people influential, and I always put her because yeah, without her I wouldn't like get through all the hard days on the outdoor ring with snow and rain and doing all the hard stuff.
What was her name?
Andrea Höse.
So still in contact?
Yeah, we phone like every week.
Really?
Yeah. We are always in contact, and also after the races, she calls me or she writes, and I ask her for advice. So that's really important for me to have like the connection to my home ring, also to the club where I skated or where I still skate for. That's really important for me because I think like the people that helped me to get to where I am right now are very important.
So, do you remember your first time trial?
I do not really remember, but there are like some stories my mom always tells me because when I come to Munich and we go on the outdoor ring and there are some pictures of me, and she always tells me that when I had my first time trial, she was standing there and it was cold, and she told me, you're not going to skate in about half an hour. We go get some pizza. And we went to the pizza place next to it. And when we came back, they were announcing my name that I had to go on the ice, and I was in shock and in tears, and the trainers were like, Hendrik, you have to go on the ice now. And I was like tying the skates and going on the ice. I think I fall several times, but still it was like, yeah, the second distance was better then. And yeah, that's the story.
Well, I was doing some research, and I often do that. I'm trying to get a feel for your career and distances and times or whatever. But the very first time trial record of Hendrik Dombek on speedskatingresults.com was in October of 2007. And what I found interesting about that is not that you did a 55:47 500, but the guy, one of the first people that I interviewed on this channel, Mika Putala, was in that same event. So there were a bunch of Finnish guys and Dutch guys. It was a huge field. I mean, there were probably, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 skaters. So, yep. So you shared the ice with Mika Putala on your first recorded time trial.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't remember that, but yeah, I remember him, of course, from the television and stuff. Yeah. I think I was in Erfurt one time. In Erfurt, we have like the World Cups. There are the crowd is standing right next to the barriers, and he did this thing where he had his book and he sat on the barrier and was signing his book given to one of the crowd people, and then he skated a pretty good 500.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
We covered all of his antics when he was on the show. He's a special, a really special individual. I adore him. He's something else. So, in those early years, you were skating in tough conditions, and not really with a team or a lot of people around. So, I think it probably, I'm assuming it made you pretty tough. So as you've gone through your career, I'm sure as you are challenged with, difficult workouts and stuff, it's probably pretty easy for you.
Yeah, I think I learned to love training. It's when I come to training and it's not the roller training. I think I hate this, but the rest is pretty good for me. And I really like the hard trainings. And I think also I learned to value a team more. Because in the days at first we had like a pretty big group with pretty good ladies, and then they stopped skating or went to different places after years. So when I was alone with Andrea, I really learned to love training, to go on the ice and do like more laps than she wanted me to do, and really go to the edge. And that's also, I think, what benefits me today, that when we come to a hard training, I'm always like a bit nervous and I want to be the best and I want to do good on the training, but I also value my team members more, because I know how hard and not funny it is to skate alone, and when you have others that suffer with you, it's pretty great.
Yeah, 100%. That's also a theme on this channel over time, talking about the need to have people with you, and when you're trying to go out and do something that's really difficult and you're trying to push yourself when you don't have people with you, it's so hard. As you were, in love with the sport and putting all this time in, do you remember a moment where you kind of thought to yourself, like, hey, I think I'm pretty good at this?
I think, yeah, but it was pretty late. It was like my last junior championships, when I got second in the overall classification at the German junior championships, and I was allowed to go to the junior world championships. I think that was the day when I first thought, okay, this could be something I could really be good in. But the years before, I had a lot of problems with the corners. We always made videos because I said, I'm so deep and I'm skating so good, because nobody's skating in front of me. And I always thought, yeah, I'm the best guy here. And then Andrea took videos and was like, this is looking like shit. So that was something I always thought, like, no, I'm not really the best, but it made fun, and I liked the training. And I got better from competition to competition, but I always had like one good competition in a year and several not so good ones. So I think this was the first day where I thought, okay, maybe I can make a career of this. And also in Germany, you only get into the money part of the sport when you are like going to the junior worlds and you're okay there, and then you get get to the army or the police, and then you can like finance the sport. Otherwise it's not possible. So this was the first day where I thought, okay, maybe when I get in the army I can do the sport as a career.
So yeah, let's talk about that, because that was one of the things that I circled. Was I saw armed forces in your bios somewhere. So that was a career path for you, basically, to be able to skate as a quote-unquote professional, but also be in the armed forces.
Yeah, in Germany, the sports system is pretty complicated, because we have a lot of problems with the finance, or it's hard to finance yourself over sponsors and stuff. Besides, you are in the big sports, in football or in biathlon maybe also. So the more smaller sports have like the finance over the army or the police. So if you are going to the higher ages, you can either go to the local police, to the Bundespolizei, or to the army, and then you get a special contract, always for 1 year. And you get paid a salary, and you have to go there 4 to 6 weeks per year and do a training and learn something about the army. In my case, the police people are really doing a police academy for the half year for several years, and the rest of the year you're free to train and go to competitions. So this is pretty great, especially otherwise it would be hard to finance the sport by myself and also for many other people. So this really helps, and this is more or less the sports finance here, and the competitions get paid by the government and also the trainers we have. So this is like the 50-50 part of the finance.
Gotcha. So you went to Junior Worlds in 2016. Was it shortly thereafter that you took this route with the armed forces and national team? Back in the days we had like a lot of good people, I would say, or more good people. So the places are limited. So I had to like ask for a place, and then there was looked if I'm good enough, if there is somebody quitting from the armed forces. And when I was told that there is a place free from it's called Sportfördergruppe in Germany, I took this opportunity, but it also meant that I had to move to Erfurt, because in Munich there's no big training group. This is no Bundesstützpunkt, so we have like places where you have to go if you want to go in the army or the police. So this was my career path. So I have not been to Erfurt. So how different is Erfurt from Munich?
Oh, it's a huge difference. It's like way smaller, and in Germany, like because of the East and West Germany story of our history. It's like Erfurt is East Germany and Munich is West Germany. So it's a lot of differences from the people, from the culture, and and it's also in price range. So here is everything a bit cheaper than in Munich. And for me, it was like a bit not a culture clash, but it was like really different for me. Also, the part of moving out of my hometown where I lived with my mom, and I had to like organize my stuff by myself, wash clothes, go shopping. I remember my first shopping tour. I went and only bought chocolate and deep dish like pizzas, and so I was like not really professional at the moment, but I was like the first time I was free to do whatever I want. But over the years, I really learned to love Erfurt, because it's like a great city. The people are really nice. For myself, it's like biking here is great. There are not too many cars. You have like great roads, and also the places where you can go here in the city are really near, so I can walk more or less in the city center in 5 minutes and be in the ice ring in 15 minutes with my bike. And in Munich, it was like everything far away. My friends lived all across the city. So here's, it's in Germany would say gemütlich, so it's more easy. Everything is like pretty cool and chill.
So you said that currently the national team is kind of split up into two pieces. You have Erfurt and Berlin. How many, like roughly how many skaters are in Erfurt with you?
I think our training group contains 7 or 8 people at the moment, if I'm around, about that. And the whole national team is 24 people. Okay.
And Peter Miller is the head coach?
Yeah, Peter Miller is the head coach here in Erfurt.
Gotcha.
Together with Gunda Niemann-Stirnemann. I think the name will say something. She's our assistant coach, and
Gotcha. So we talked about your first race, and then Junior Worlds in 2016. You've kind of emerged. I wouldn't say kind of. You have emerged into the senior circuit as a sprinter, and one of the things I always find interesting when guys go to Junior Worlds is if I remember correctly, you're still required to skate every distance, right?
I don't think you have to skate every distance, but if you want to go in the overall classification, you have to go, what I did. And also in Germany, I think you're pretty much forced to do at the junior German championships every distance. So we train more or less for everything. Okay. But I think nowadays you can also like kick out the 5K if you don't want to do it.
That's kind of where I was going. I wanted to hear all about some of your epic 5Ks.
It was one. I only did one in China. It was my first one and the last one. I think it was better not to do that again.
It was not terrible.
Yeah, it felt terrible. But I think I was lapped a few times.
The time was decent. I mean, if you're skating with Patrick Roos, then it's not going to go well. So, your first World Cup appearance, I had it written down here somewhere. It was in Germany, right?
Yeah, it was in Erfurt.
Yeah, in Erfurt. So, do you remember that? How did it feel?
I remember it pretty sharp. It was like we had back in the days we had like pretty rough qualification times for the German team, and only if you made exactly that time you were allowed to skate. So even though we have like 5 starting places at the home World Cup, we did not put every skater in like other countries are doing. We only put in the people that had like exactly below the qualification times, and I skated I think 2 or 3 weeks before. I made just luckily under that time, so I was allowed to skate, and my dad came up from Munich and supported me here, and all my friends came, and it was a really great experience. I do not really remember what times I did or what places. It was like not important for me. It was like more important to get started and to be there on the starting line, and also have the chance to skate in front of the home crowd. It was really great.
Yeah, that was January of 2018. In Erfurt. So since then, you've appeared in some world championships and world sprints, and European championships as well. And that's a question that I don't think I've asked any of the European skaters, and I've been wanting to ask. So when you look at Euros, is that something that the skaters are excited about? Is the European Championship something you get up for?
I think in Germany it has like a high value. It's like it lost a bit of about of the spark in the last years. I think if you watch the last European sprints in Hammer, there were like not many people skating. I think there were only like 13 or 14 like really going to the starting line. So I think it lost a bit importance, because like the world championships are what is counted on. It's the only competition where in the end you can say, okay, I got this place and I was this good. So many people are just like, I think it's the same with the four continentals. They only train over it. They want to use the time for training. And but for me, it's like, I like the European Championships. I also will try to skate this year in Herrenfeen, because I think it's another competition. It's like international class. And I also always wanted to skate as many races as possible, because that's what skating is about, or what the sport is about. So I don't really like to take out a lot. I want to get every chance and take every chance and go to start line.
Yeah,
so
I
try.
That's how you get better. So I have another thing circled here. So let's talk a little bit about injuries, because I think you've had a few, maybe 2 or 3 that in the notes that I was looking at, like these were not like a hangnail. I mean, you had some pretty decent injuries along your way. So tell us about some of those and how it maybe knocked you off your plan a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit unlucky with injuries, especially like muscle injuries. I was never, like I said before, in figure skating, I was never like the bendy guy. I could not do like the stuff where you have to be your legs really far apart. And so I had like a few hamstring muscle injuries. I torn one adductor. I hope it's the same in English. At the World Cup. I also like falled at the roller training once and broke a collarbone on the side. I guess there's a video of that, and it's not looking too good. And and then at a kid, I had some knee injuries. I had a bit of back pain, like what everybody has more or less when you're doing like a lot of sport. So I think my body is not really meant to do that high intensity all the time, or I should take better care of it. And every time I got injured, I was like, this is the end of the career. This is like the last day I'm doing the sport. But I always had really great medicine personnel around me that helped me to get back and already be on the ice pretty fast again. And from, I think, last year on, I train with a physiotherapist as our head weight trainer. And since then, I managed to do a lot more like full body training. We are like, he knows every injury of me. He is looking when we do like physiotherapy, how the muscles feel, and then he's adjusting the weight program. So this is a big part, what I learned from the injuries, that I have to take care of my body and also have somebody that is specialist in his field and that can tell me, okay, today, Hendrik, you're not doing this exercise. Today, you're not doing that, so that I don't get injured again. So from last year on, I'm pretty lucky. I only had like one smaller muscle injury since then, and it's getting better every week, I think. So this is what I learned of it, to put myself in the hands of somebody that's really good with this stuff.
Excellent. Yeah, we don't want to see you on the sideline anymore. So I got to ask you, after your roller injury, are you guys still training rollers in the summer?
Yeah, more. Peter is loving that. He's like saying every time, "Yeah, we doing next year. We're doing more roller training," and
Oh,
every
good
time I'm
Lord.
pissed off. But yeah, I think that's part of the training, and I try to just do it and get used to the rollers and not be too angry at the roller training, because last year I had like some days where I was really pissed because it's like it's hard when you are training with a group with really good skaters, and we also have one guy in our group that was really good inline skater, and he's like, when he's going fast, I'm not able to follow. Not
Oh, Felix Reinen?
even no, Stefan Emele.
Oh,
Fix Ryan is trained with the Berliners. Yeah,
okay.
he would be the same. He would be even worse,
Yeah.
I think, for me.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like hard to keep up, and also Moritz is really good on the rollers. So I'm getting frustrated, and then I'm doing stuff by my own, and then it's getting better. But yeah, I don't love the roller training.
Gotcha. So you've done a couple of world championships. You've not seen an Olympics yet, correct?
Yes,
Okay, so 2026, we'll get to that. So
I hope
when
so.
when you participated in the world championships so far, have you found those events to be different than a World Cup?
Well, not really. I think it's like another event. It has higher value, so there's if you skate good, there's more to get, and if you skate bad, there's more people like, okay, it's not good, and also like it's better to be seen because there is no B group. I think I skate a lot of B group
Right.
races, and nobody's really. Yeah, I think in the sports, everybody's looking the B group, and you know each other, and you know the skaters from B group, and you see if somebody's doing something really special there also. But outside of the sports and also in the media, the B group is not worth anything. So I think at the World Championships there are more eyes on you, and that's like the difference. So I'm more nervous, and there's more to win. But yeah, in the end, it's another race. So I think that's not so different.
So let's get to the part that we want to talk about the most. So you've been on the World Cup circuit primarily as a 500,000 guy. So you've kind of classified as a sprinter for a long time. And this year you finished third in the German qualification for the 1500. So you showed up in B group to start the season, and you won the B group the first week. And then you go to the next one, and now you're in A group, and you finished fifth. And then you've had a couple other solid finishes since. So all of a sudden you're a 1500 skater. And we're going to break this race down, but before we get into that, how did you do that?
Okay, yeah, that's I sometimes I can't really know, or I don't really know how I got to be a 1500 meter guy this year, but I think it's good to start like when I was still in Munich and training with Andrea. I was like pretty solid opener. I did like as a junior a 9.8, but it's not too bad. It's not too good, but it's okay. And when I got older, I could like open a 9.7. I think I opened one day a 16.3 in Calgary. So everybody was like, okay, if he's a fast opener, he has to be a sprinter. But if you see the guys today, I think if you're not opening a 9.6 minimum, you're not really a good sprinter. And last year, Peter came to me and said like, yeah, we're not going to be any good in the 500 if we're not opening 9.6, 9.5, because we're too slow at the beginning. And also like Nico ended his career, Nico Ile, and Joel stopped a few years ago after the Olympics. So there were no really 500 meter guys anymore, so really sprinters in Germany. We have one guy in our training group, but he got a pretty big injury at the end of the season last year. So Peter told me, okay, if you want to do this with the group and you want to get better, we have to switch a bit. And because we have Moritz, who was really great last year, and the year before also Stefan skated a German record. So there were guys in my training group that could do the 1500,000 meter really good. So I said, okay, let's try this. Let's go with them. I did then the training, everything they did, and I don't really know why it got so good, but at the first 1500 meter this year in the summer ice, I was just trying to survive, and I suddenly normally when I did the 1500 meters, I was don't start too fast because you're gonna die. But if I started too slow, I still died and did not a good time. So and this time I started okay with a 27, and then there were 28, and in the end I had still power to do the 29, and I was like, okay, this is something different. I'm feeling like the training did something to my body I did not know. So in the next race I was starting a bit faster and still had like the flat laps afterwards. In the next race I started again a bit faster and again a bit faster, and the times got better every race. So I think it was like, I still don't really know where the limit is, but it's pretty fun, and I try to train harder every day to keep the process going.
Well, let's take a look at this magical race from China. I actually watched this one live, and I didn't know a ton about you. I knew of you. And when I saw your reaction after the race, like, this is just, it's another World Cup, and I see this guy that's just losing his mind on the backstretch. And I'm like, this was special. Like, guys don't do that, in pair 4 in the second World Cup of the year in a non, Olympic year. So let's take a look at this opener first. So you're throwing in some hard strokes there, but to me, what struck me there, I mean, a 3.6 is super solid at sea level. But when I watched that, I didn't, it didn't strike me as a guy that was going out super hard, and like, you looked very in control. You're throwing the arm in there, and there's some good tempo, but it looked easy. Is the 1500 opener easy for you?
Yeah, I think at this time where I skated the 23.6, it was like no hard at all. I just tried to start the first meters like 1,000 more or less, just do some hard pushes, and then get into the race, do a controlled corner. Peter always says, like, pop out of the corner, do some faster strokes, and then on the straightaway, relax and try to build up so that I have a good speed, but don't like waste too much energy. So I think it was an easy opener for me at the moment.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look at the next piece here. So this is your first full lap, and again, I mean, to me, when I look at this guy skating, it looks like it's coming easy to you. Not a ton of tempo, you're floating, but I mean, you threw down a 6.1. At this point, when you get on that backstretch and you see the timing board, are you feeling like you're on a good one? Did you just feel like you were on schedule, or were you starting to get excited already?
Okay, I think this is a bit because I do not do many 1500s, and I also I watch the races, but I don't know what time I'm on. It's like when I came through and I saw the 6.1, and I heard the announcer say 5.9 for La Rue. Yeah. It was like, okay, I'm pretty okay. This is like, it's going good. I tried to feel like the rhythm. I started to skate this year with both arms on the back, so I tried to relax on the straightaways and do just hold the tempo on the corners, and don't get over stroking, get too fast, because like I said, I have a bit of problem with the technique. If I'm trying to go really fast and I'm getting like angespannt. It's like when I try to contract the muscles too hard, I'm doing stuff with the upper body. My hips are not straight anymore. So I try to just relax and stay in my position that I know I'm easy to go like this lap times. And I also had like a pretty good exchange there behind David. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's pick up this next one now. All right, so still, working the corners, but again, I mean, now you're well into the race and now you got to work harder. But at this point, you're, 7-4. But again, you said you didn't really have a schedule. So coming into that last lap, I mean, was there a point in this race where you felt like you were on a good one and now you just got to finish it and it's going to be great?
Not really. I think Peter always shouts like on the last straightaway what time I'm on. So he called in 45. And I was like, oh, this is pretty good. And I was like, he also could have shouted 43 or 46. I believe every time he's calling. And yeah, I try to like, if I'm planning the race, I try to like I said, start hard, then go easy on the first straightaway, keep the speed for 1.5 laps. And then I try to put everything in I got. So when I'm at the exchange lane and I hear of the words Peter is saying, and we have like, he's pretty much saying every time the same, stuff that we like discussed before or stuff from the training or the race plan. And then I'm going all in. And at the time I'm at his like position and he shouts 45. I'm like, okay, this is going to be fast. But I was not, to be honest, I wasn't really believing it because I thought like, last week I was doing 46 and I don't think too much at the racing, but I was like, okay, if I do like 46 high again, it's pretty good for me. So I did not know that it's like going to be that fast for me.
Well, let's pick it up here at the end. So here he's hollering at you. And you're trying to believe in your head right now that it's actually going to be a 45.
Yeah.
And then you got David coming on the inside here just to push you a little bit more. You're still nice and low and driving in control. I think that says it all right there. I like this backstretch a lot. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think to explain a bit why I'm like so going out of myself and so happy about it. It's like when you are doing many races at the senior level and you already skated in overseas, like in Salt Lake and Calgary, you're not able to do like that many personal bests.
Yeah.
And when I was in Incel at the World Championships, I think 2019, I was not able to skate any races because we had not enough places on the single distances. And on the team sprint event, I was like, the fourth guy at the moment. So I said to myself, okay, if I'm ever able to skate a personal, if I'm ever able to do something special at the moment, I want to be happy about it. So I want to like feel the sport and feel that I did something great, and also give my mind and my body back that I'm like did something good for myself. And even though like 1:45.9 is a good time, and especially for me, but it's not a world class. At the moment, it was a world class time, but it's not a time that you win a gold medal at the Olympics or
Right.
somewhere else. So I'm pretty aware of that. But it was like, for me, it was like a personal best. It was a great race. I could like do everything that we talked about in training and that Peter said to me during the race. So I was like, okay, this is a moment I want to be happy. And also I was a bit surprised at the finish line when I watched the board that it was that fast. But I think that many people are just like going through the finish line and like, okay, it's okay. And then they're doing the next race and the next race. And if you watch the German championships, for example, and I'm going through the finish line and I know I'm first, I'm also like yeah, going out of myself and celebrating, because it's something as special for me, and I want to keep the fun on the sports and not be like every time, it's not a personal best, this is not good. And also I think if you are never happy about yourself, you get into a hole a bit, and there's nothing good enough. So this is why I like try to be happy about the times I'm setting.
Well, it did strike me because, you know, I saw the PB and I'm like, holy shit, he's doing a PB in China. But then I went and looked, you've never done a 1500 at altitude.
Yeah, I was never, I never had like the chance to, because I was not qualified for the 1500 last years. I think last year I could have done, but at the beginning of the year we said like, okay, no, I'm only doing 500,000, and federation nominated somebody else that was like at the German Championships a bit slower than me, so it was like pretty okay that he could do all the 1500s. And also it's like very important for a smaller country, so we're not a really small country, but to do like every event with the same people, because you want to get more starting places, so there was no switching around at that time. So I was never able to do a 1500, and to be honest, I don't think that I would have skated that good last years. So I don't think I would have done the 45 even in Calgary or Salt like the last years, because I was not capable of doing that.
Well, I'm excited for you because, you know, you mentioned that recently you've been throwing more into that opener and first lap, and you're not dying. So that's got to give you some hope that like you could really become a solid 1500 guy. So that's kind of cool. Are you going to continue to skate 500s?
I think, as we discussed in the training group and with Peter, we're using the 500 as long as there are no other German skaters that are doing it as a training and also at a kickstart, if it's not too close to the 1500. So if you look on the results, Moritz and Stefan are not doing the 500 if it's right before the 1500. And because I have like the whole day to the 1500A group, and I also want to go on the ice with the other guys. We go on the ice in the morning, we do the 500 as a start, and then we like go home, eat something, relax, and then we come back to the 1500. So I think it's for me, as we learned over the last year and also this year, it's pretty good to do some more intensity even before a race and not relax the whole day or do nothing. And we also tend to go on the ice as early as possible, because Peter is not sleeping well, I think. he likes to go on the ice in the early morning. And also, like I said, the training group is very important for me, and I want to go on the ice with them. So if it's possible and we go on the beat time, I'm also skating the 500. So I think I'm trying to do another 500 also in Salt Lake.
So you are also the anchor man on the team sprint at the moment, correct?
Anchor man is like the
last guy.
The last guy, yeah. At the moment, I'm the last guy.
The yellow band.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we've seen recently with the team sprint, some guys are starting to mess around with this whole, you know, grab an arm and swing a guy thing. Have you guys tried that at all? Have you done it?
Funny, we have done it like, I think it was a few years ago with Moritz and Nico at the World Sprint Championships in Hamar. We did it there one time, but it was just an idea, and they said like, okay, we're not good enough to win right away, so we're gonna try something special. And then when we saw it this year at the World Cup in Beijing with the Americans, we thought like, okay, this is pretty good. And also when you look at the lap times, this is something I think more or less it's like, I think it's like with the pushing on the team pursuit, you have to do it at the moment because there's nothing better, and it's also fitting in the rules. So we are going to train it and also gonna try it at the race, because otherwise we're never on the podium. So yes.
Got to try something. And that you're only going to do that with the second and third guy, right? You're not going to try to do that with the first guy.
No, I don't think it's always something. If nobody tries it, you never know. But I think like the last guy is then too far off, and you have to have the slipstream. So I think it's only beneficial with the second to the third guy, and
Yeah.
also only if you like hit it really good. I think you saw at the Stavanger World Cup that some teams did not made it like decent, and then you're losing time.
Yeah.
So it's hop or top stuff. So the Americans, the Canadians were doing it pretty good, and they had like really good last lap times. So yeah, I think it's something you have to train a bit. I heard some countries were just doing it and not training it, so maybe it's also something you can do by accident. But yeah.
So speaking of weird exchanges, what's your opinion of this mixed gender relay?
Oh, I really like it. It's a really fun event. I think I did it with Anna in Obihiro, and we were not training it before. We trained it like on the day on the ice. We trained our first exchange because we did not know that it's like so important for the overall World Cup on the team sprint. We thought it's like just a test event, and then
Oh, really?
we came there and was like, no, this is yeah. We were not not aware of that, or I think maybe the trainers were aware, but we as a sportsman were not aware, and we did not train it to that day. And also because we have no girls in the training group here in Erfurt, there were no really times where we could really train it beforehand. And also like the single distances are more important, and for the women's the team pursuit is more important in the federation. So yeah, we did not really train it, but I think we had a okay start, wanky first exchange, but the second one was pretty good, and then yeah, we had a fall. But as you saw from the other teams, I think every team had like a lot of fun, and was a great event. I think it's something that has to be looked after the next years.
Oh, I thought what was interesting is when you guys came out, they introduced two other people.
Yeah,
So was
because we
that
were
you
not
guys
on
were a
the
last
table.
minute change or?
No, I think we changed 1 hour before, but it was pretty
Okay.
sure already a few days before that Anna and me would do it, because we could like put four people in there, like two girls and two men, and Moritz, it was Moritz or me. And after my 1500, Peter said, "Okay, I'm allowed to do it." To be honest, I was like going every day to him and told him, "I want to do it. I think it's a great event," and
Oh, really?
I pushed him a bit to do a decision. Yeah, like I said, I like to skate events. I like to do like a lot of stuff, and I think I saw it in Herrenfeen a few years back when it was a test event, and I think it looked funny, and I wanted to do it. So yeah, Moritz in the end said, "Okay, if you really want to do it, you can." So I was happy that he also like gave me the chance, and Peter also. And with the girls, Anna was set. So yeah, I think it was just a mix up at the media.
Gotcha. So fall World Cups are over. In this season, we've got a world single distance event, and then we also have a world all around and sprint, which is combined. And then there's two more World Cups. So take us through the rest of this season. I assume there's another round of German qualifying, and then you will attempt, to qualify for 515,000 team sprint. Are there any more of these mixed gender relays in the last two World Cups?
Yeah, I think in Salt Lake there's another one.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, in Salt Lake there's another one, and yeah, and then there's a team sprint again. Yeah, we have like now we are training here in Erfurt with the training group. We have like a camp where also some skaters of Incel are here. So we are doing pretty hard training days till the holidays, or till Weihnachten, yeah, Christmas Eve. And then we have on the 29th and 30th of December, we have a qualification tournament in Berlin, where we have to skate like 1500 and the long distance for the long distance people, and then 500 and 1000 for us, for the sprinters, or for the more sprinter guys. And this is the qualification for the European Championships single distance, and also for the world sprint distances. And for the world single distances, we already are qualified. If you have like on the quota list, if you have a place on there, you are pre-qualified for the overseas World Cups. So yeah, we have the qualification here in Erfurt. Then I'm gonna try to skate like the 1500, 500,000 there and qualify for the Europeans over these distances. Then I'm gonna skate there. Then we pretty fast, I think a few days after Europeans, we go to Salt Lake. We stay there because like of the altitude and the time differences. I think the last years it made more and more sense to be a bit early in Salt Lake because even though it's not too high up, it's still it's still a bit altitude. And then we skate there, then Quebec City, and then we go straight to Calgary and do the preparations there for the world single distances. And yeah, I think the world single distances are for the German Federation and also for us sportsmen here in Germany. It's like the most important event, even though the world around and the world sprints are in home here in Germany in Incel. It's more important to be fast in Calgary because we have like a CADA system. And if you get under the first 8 at the single distance championships, you're in a higher CADA. And that means more money for the federation. That means more money for your team, for yourself. And that does not count for the all-round or the sprint distances. So it's only important to be fast, or in this way, it's only important to be fast in Calgary.
So as we sit here right now in mid-December, do you know exactly what you've qualified for at World Single Distance in Calgary?
I know at the moment what I'm qualified for, but it's still like, you have the SQL list, the special quota list. So right now I'm in there over the points. It's like the first 18 people over points and the next ones over the time. So I'm over 1,000 and 1,500. I'm in there over the points. And I think if I'm still able to skate every race in A group, I will have enough points to be in there, pretty sure. But yeah, you never can be sure because you can fall, you can be disqualified and stuff. So I think nobody can be sure, but I'm pretty confident that I'm in there over 1,000 and 1,500 meters.
Is there a team sprint at the World Single Distance?
Oh, I don't really know that, but I think so. I would have to look, but I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. Well, this sport sometimes is very confusing. Guys talk about, Emery Lehman is like, I don't really like 5Ks anymore, but I have to skate them because we need the spots. And I'm like, I trust you. I trust Gabe knows what he's doing. But sometimes the sport's very confusing. Here's a photo I wanted to show you. And I want you to tell me about your equipment. So it's not a great picture, but tell me about your boots and blades. What are you using?
I'm using Marchesi. No, it's not Marchesi. It's Apex. It's Apex boots. And I made them here in Germany. There's a guy near Incel that is doing the footprints for Apex and sends them to Canada. And then we get the boots back. So I'm pretty happy with these. And I'm skating an Apex boot. And the other one is FES blade. So it's the blue blade, you're assuming. It's FES. It's like the German Institute for Material, for sports material. They're doing like the bobsleds. They're doing the bikes for the indoor bike people. And they also have one guy that was also a skater back in the days. And he's building blades. And I skate those.
How long have you been on those blades?
I started to skate them, the ones I'm now on, last year, but I tried them for several years. So it was like I think Claudia and also Annie Friesinger and the girls back in the day skated FES blades, but they were only carbon material. So they made like full carbon blades. And then, this has to be like 6 years ago. Or also 7 years ago, Michael Büttner former Künzel. He's our material man from FES, and he started to experiment around with like other steels and also, doing steel blades. I cannot tell you what materials of because I do not know, to be honest. I trust him fully with that. And he started to like bring blades to the training, and we could try them on. And at first it was like, this is the sprint blade and this is the long distance blade, and they are different sharpened, and this is different material. And then we started to try them. But at first they were like, not really skatable, I would say. They were like too stiff, then they were too easy to bend, then they had like a lot of rough spots, then they were breaking, and so nobody was doing them. And 3 years ago I went to him and told him, I really, because I was on maple blades and there were no more maple blades, so I told him I have to switch now, and if I'm doing like a big switch now, I want to be on something that I'm fully confident that I get the best material there is. Because if I'm going to a salesman and I buy Viking blades, I get the Viking blades that everybody is getting. But I don't think that the Dutch, for example, get the same blades that I get. So they get like straightened blades, or they get like, because every time I ordered like a Viking blade, they were like doing this on the and we could not, we tried to bend them and it got pretty okay, but it never got perfect. So I told him, if we are trying something, I would like to try it with you and do like our own blade. And he said, okay, I'm fully confident that I can do it. And then we started to try those blades. And last year I tried a few, and this year I went a few times to Berlin and tried it with him. And I think from this year on, we have like pretty good blades. And I can, there are several things I can tell him. I can tell him I want it like more bendy in the front. I want it like harder in the back. So it's like I can decide what blade I want, and I get exactly that blade. And it's it's made in Germany, and it's made by hand by him with different like companies that help him with that, because he cannot do everything by hand. And this is like a pretty great blade in my opinion. And it's like, for me, it's like really cool to skate, or to be one of the first to skate it on a high level. And now more people in Germany are able to try it, and I hope that it brings a bit forward the German team.
So can I go to a website and order myself the Hendrik Dombek FES blade so I can improve my 1500?
Oh, I don't think that's possible.
Hey, you can't blame me for asking.
To be honest. Yeah, no, you can. I'm not sure, to be honest. If you go on the FES website, you can order a track bike, for example, and the ones that are rode on the Olympic distances by Emma Hinze. But I'm not sure. I never looked, to be honest. Maybe there is a possibility. You can write an email and ask.
All right, we'll show them one more time. It's not a very good picture, but they are blue, but they are not sapphires, people. Let's make sure we understand that.
Yeah, and I if I want to, it's a custom paint job. I can also make them pink. There's one girl in Innsbruck that skates pink ones, and one guy here in Erfurt has like shiny blue ones. So it's like the color does not make the speed. But they're also like, I don't think that it's like something too special. There's not like a booster in it, or this is not a material that nobody else is using. I think the exception is that it's like a blade where we can decide what bend it has, what bend it has, and it stays like this. And it's not like going back and forward, because I was talking with the Canadian material man, and he said like, when we get a new blade, we have to bend it for 3 months almost every day so it stays in shape. And we don't have these problems now with the FES blade, because it's like we get it like this, and Micha builds them, and they're perfect. So
wow.
But it was also a longer way to develop these.
Jeez. You're 26.
Yes.
Correct. So Italy 2026, you will still be in your 20s. How are you approaching the sport right now? I mean, I know you want to be at the 26 Olympics. Do you think about beyond that, or are you kind of just trying to stay in the moment right now?
I think, like you saw this year on my improvement, there also can be a decrease really fast. So one year
Yeah.
you're top, and the next year you're again at the end of B group, or even not skating the World Cup, because there are better guys, and we also have really good young guys now in Germany that are winning the World Juniors, or the World Cup Juniors at the moment. So yeah, I think it's good to think about the next years and to have a plan. And my plan is at first to go to the Olympics and train every year here in Erfurt with Peter and the guys that are on our training group, and to improve as a team and for myself till the Olympics. And after that, I think I will sit down and see what possibilities I have, and what I want to do and what makes me happy. And then I will decide if I'm doing another 4 years. I think it's clearly, if you have like the Olympics every 4 years, you are thinking in 4 years. So it's just like a long time. So I will sit down and see, discuss with my girlfriend if we are doing, or if I'm doing like 4 years, because it's not so easy sometimes, I think, to live with a sportsman. And I have to see if I want to keep that life. At the moment, I'm pretty happy and I have fun. And so if you ask me now, I would say I'm doing like 10 years more.
So I guess speaking of that, you have done some post high school education. Do you have a thought about who you're going to be after skating? Do you think about that? Do you have a plan?
Yeah, at the moment, I started several studies and I quit every time. At the moment, I'm pretty happy with sports economics, I think. Yeah, it's in English, sports economics.
Yeah.
And I think I want to do something in sports. At the moment, I'm also the athletes representative of the German Speedskating Federation. So I think this is sport politics, and this is something that suits me, that I'm having fun. And yeah, if I'm able to finish that study, I hopefully will be, then I want to do something in the sports, hopefully in speed skating. But I'm also, I think it's pretty exciting what short track is doing, and there are other sports that I'm watching, and I think, something in sports, but I'm not really sure what.
Gotcha. So one other question I forgot to ask related to this year. We talked about how important Calgary is for the German team, but Heerenveen does have the all-around in the sprint. So will you be there in the capacity of doing the sprint championship?
Incel is doing it.
Or Incel, I'm sorry, Incel, yeah.
I was confused also.
Yeah, for some reason I always think Heerenveen has something. Yeah. So Incel has the world all around. Will you be there doing the sprint program?
I will definitely try. So if we have like the places from the ISU, and I'm also like I said, in Berlin we have now the qualification, so I have to skate the 500,000. And if I'm under the top 3 minimum, I think you have to be better. I will definitely try, because like I said, over Erfurt, the competition here, I'm from Munich, it's 1 hour away from Incel, and I really want to skate in front of my family, because they are not so often at competitions, at the German competition every year, but not at the World Cups, because it's always like far away. So I'm really looking forward to skate there, and hopefully I will make the qualification, and then I will buy a lot of tickets and give them to everybody that supported me and to my family.
Yeah, Insel's right down the road from Munich, so that would be a good one for you. I mean, I think the whole world loves Insel. I mean, everybody loves to go there and cycle there and spend time there and do training camps and stuff. Berlin and Erfurt, are they much different than the Insel Oval itself?
I think the people are going to Insel because it's like a unique place, because it's like such a small city, and short ways, and I think everybody knows everybody there. And also, I think most of the people are going there because the ice is fast.
Yeah.
And here in Erfurt, to be honest, you can do great training camps. So every other country that sees this is heartily welcomed here. It's really welcomed.
Yeah.
I don't want to say something wrong.
Welcome.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome here, and also like the people here in Erfurt are really nice. So I think the only problem is that Erfurt does not make that fast ice, and also Berlin. So that's the only downside of these rings. But the ring at itself is like pretty much the same. So it's 400 meters, and you can train there.
Well, I mean, I think the geometry of Salt Lake and Calgary are both similar. I think the straightaways are slightly longer and the corners are tighter. And I thought I had heard that Inzo was kind of the same, and that maybe the geometry is a little bit more like a paper clip, right? So it's just slightly longer straightaways and a little tighter corners. Which always mystified me, because if you're at altitude and you're going faster, you would think you would want the corners to be a little bit easier to get through, but it's the opposite. But
do you think, or did you heard that some countries are measuring it? Because I always saw, like when we were in Calgary, I saw the Korean material man or somebody of them like measuring the radius of the corners and writing down something. I went to Michael and said, like, yeah, why are they measuring it? Do we have to do the same? And he was like, no, it does not really matter. So I think maybe it's something that we or that other people have to improve on, to measure the tracks and see if there are differences. I always thought about maybe you have to skate a different bend, or you have to skate a different radius if you're on another track. But like I said, it's hard to get the insights from other countries. We are not doing it at the moment, but maybe if you invite somebody of the material mans the next time, he can give us some insight. It would be great.
Well, we covered a lot of ground. We went over an hour, which is always a good sign. I just want to look at this one more time because it's so fun to watch. Look at that face. That guy is so happy.
Yeah. It was a great day. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome day. I became a Hendrik Dombek fan on that day. That was cool.
That's nice.
So I did not try to speak German for you, which is a good thing for everybody watching. Someday I'm going to figure that language out, but right now I got to figure out Italian, because that's where Masters World Sprints is in a few weeks, so I got to go to Italy and make my way around there.
Where in Italy?
Basalga.
Ah, cool. Nice.
Yeah, a little outdoor, so you never know what you're going to find when you go outdoors, but everybody tells me it's spectacular, so I'm excited to go try it.
Yeah, outdoors is great. If you have like a good weather and the right wind, it's great, and if you have bad weather and not good wind, it's horror. Well,
you put in all your time outdoors, so I'm a delicate flower. I like skating indoors. That outdoor stuff you can have, but you earned your time out there in Munich by yourself. Look at you now.
Yeah, it's long way. I always when the younger guys in the German team are coming to me and ask me, how did you manage it? I said, like, hard work, and also like do your best every day. And it's like I don't think that there is like a special recipe. You just have to do what you love and do it every day, and someday it works or maybe not, but yeah, in the end, enjoy the sport. I think that's the most important.
Well, I'm very happy that Peter made the decision to tell you that, you got to start doing some 1500s, because I think, you're on a nice ascent. I'm excited to see where they go. Excited for the rest of the year and beyond for you. And thanks for spending the time. I think this was a good one, and best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. I hope my English was understandable.
It was outstanding.
Perfect. I'm really happy with that. Next time we have to do it in German for all the German
good
guys.
Lord. All right, well, we'll do another version of this in German someday. All right, this was a good one. Thank you so much, Hendrik Dombek. We are out of here.